Diesel cars in India are going through a strange phase right now. They are cleaner than ever, more advanced than ever, but also more complicated than ever because there are concerns around DPF and exhaust after treatment and AdBlue. So it raises a simple question. In 2026, does it make sense to buy a diesel car? Well, I'm going to try to answer that question with the help of our long-term Kia Syros, which has been part of the Car and Bike Garage for about 3 months now. And with this car being our daily driver and shoot car, we have completed over 5,000 kilometers on this diesel-powered subcompact SUV. But before I get into all that, if you are new to Car and Bike, then hit that subscribe button and that bell icon as well, so you never miss such informative videos. Ever since India moved to BS6 emission norms, diesel engines had to get significantly cleaner. That meant new systems, new filters, and more technology to reduce harmful emissions. Modern diesels now use things like diesel particulate filters, advanced exhaust after treatment, and in some cases, like with the Syros, AdBlue system. So, while diesel engines themselves are still fundamentally the same, the ecosystem around them has changed. And the decision to choose Team Diesel in 2026 totally depends on whether the benefits outweigh the compromises for you or not. One of the biggest reasons why people still choose a diesel car can be defined in one word: torque. Take the Syros for example. This sub 4 meter SUV is powered by a 1.5 liter oil burner that is tuned to make 114 brake horsepower and 250 Newton meter of peak torque. Now, this car is mated to a tried and tested 6-speed automatic torque converter unit. Now, what that translates to is relaxed driving, fewer gear changes, and effortless overtakes, especially on the highway. And this easy driving character is one of the biggest reasons why people still go for a diesel car. Now, another important aspect for Indian car buyers is fuel economy, and diesel cars even today are still known for their efficiency, especially on longer drives. And the diesel engine offered with the Kia Syros is one of the more frugal options you will find today in the market. In the city, especially in metros like Mumbai or Delhi, the Syros diesel returns around 10 to 11 kilometers per liter. That's decent, but take it on the highway and things significantly improve. During my testing, the Syros delivered close to 18.5 kilometers to the liter on the highway. Combine these two numbers and the average works out to somewhere around 14 kilometers to the liter. And if you take the Syros itself for example, with its 45 liter tank capacity, that gives you a range of 630 kilometers on a full tank. Which means that if your driving regularly involves long distances, then a diesel vehicle can help you keep the fuel cost in check. This is probably the biggest practical reason why people still buy diesel. If you drive a lot, like long distance commute, frequent highway runs, or regular intercity trips, a diesel still makes strong sense. Earlier, the price gap between a petrol and a diesel vehicle was quite high, but today that difference has narrowed down. Take the Syros for example. This top-of-the-line diesel automatic variant is just about 60,000 rupees more expensive than the turbo petrol counterpart. So if you're someone who drives about 1800 to 2000 kilometers a month, then the fuel savings will start adding up quite quickly. This also means that for high mileage users, diesel still remains a smart choice. But what if you're someone who doesn't drive that much? You use your car mainly in the city. Then be ready for the nightmare that's called DPF, my friends. The DPF or diesel particulate filter is one of the most important components in modern BS6 diesel cars. Its job is simple. It traps soot from the exhaust to reduce emissions. But the filter has to be cleared, and that's no problem because the car cleans itself through high exhaust temperatures, which burns off the trapped soot and keeps it healthy. But that only happens during longer high-speed drives. But if most of your driving is short city runs in heavy traffic, then the exhaust doesn't get hot enough. Soot builds up, the filters get blocked, and that is when you start seeing warning lights, reduced engine performance, and a considerable drop in fuel efficiency. But if you still choose to go for a diesel car, then you must be ready for some complex maintenance, which will not be cheap. There are more sensors, more filters, and more emission control hardware. That doesn't necessarily mean unreliable, but it does mean repairs can be more expensive if something goes wrong. You see, if the soot in the DPF unit does not get burnt, then you will have to take the initiative of getting it cleaned professionally. But the cost of doing that ranges between 15,000 rupees to 25,000 rupees depending on your vehicle and its condition. But if you do not do that periodically, then the part might fail, and replacement units cost between 90,000 rupees to 1.5 lakh rupees, again depending on your vehicle. One way you can extend the life of the DPF unit is at least once a week take the car out on the highway for long high-speed driving. This way, the exhaust heats up and burns the soot collected in the filter. While cars like the diesel version of the Kia Syros are much cleaner today, they also demand a little more attention when it comes to maintenance and fuel. And a lot of these modern diesel cars like the Syros come with added requirement for AdBlue or diesel exhaust fluid. Now, AdBlue helps reduce emission, and they need to be refilled periodically. And that means you have an extra step of maintenance compared to a petrol vehicle. Usually you will find this in a bigger diesel vehicle which have engine capacities of 2000 cc or more, but there are exceptions like the Kia Syros. Also, modern diesel cars are far more sensitive to fuel quality, and they require high quality, low sulfur diesel, and that means that you will have to consistently chip in for high quality fuel. So let's answer the question, who should buy diesel in 2026? Well, the answer is fairly simple. You should only consider getting it if you regularly do long distance driving, you frequently do highway trips, or your annual mileage is fairly high. But if your drive involves short city commute, heavy traffic, and low annual mileage, then you should definitely go for something like a petrol or hybrid, because those will be a smarter choice. And then there are also regional factors to consider, especially in Delhi NCR. Diesel cars there are limited to 10 years of use compared to 15 years for petrol vehicles. So if you plan to keep your car long term, a diesel may not make as much financial sense. Now, one thing to notice here is that diesel isn't disappearing from India. It is just becoming more specialized. And in today's day and age, it has become more important to understand how this technology works and what do you need to maintain it. Because for the right kind of user, the diesel engine offers a great combination of torque, efficiency, and relaxed driving that's hard to ignore. So if you like this video, do give it a thumbs up and share it with fellow enthusiasts or someone who is planning to buy a diesel car. And if you have any more queries around this topic, you can put them down in the comments and we will try to answer them. And for more such videos, keep following Carandbike.